You pick up your phone to check one notification. 40 minutes later, you're still scrolling, and you can't remember what you were originally looking for. You feel worse than when you started, and somehow, you'll do it again in 20 minutes. 2,500 years ago, a man sitting under a tree diagnosed this exact pattern. He just didn't have a phone to blame it on. If you've ever wondered why you can't seem to put the thing down, even when you want to, stick around. We're about to explain the mechanism and then fix it with a method that's older than most religions. Hit like if that sounds useful, and let's get into it. DoomScrolling isn't really about the content. It's about a mental habit the Buddha called craving, the mind's compulsive reach for the next stimulus, the next hit of novelty, before the last one has even settled. And here's the part that should make you feel less broken and more targeted. Researchers studying phone behavior have found that the average person unlocks their phone somewhere close to 100 times a day, often without deciding to. That's not a willpower failure. That's a designed outcome. Here's the mechanism behind it. Your brain doesn't release dopamine when you get a reward. It releases dopamine while you're anticipating one. In that half second of uncertainty before you know what's in the feed. Psychologists call this a variable reward schedule, and it's the exact same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. A predictable reward and the same payout every time barely triggers a response, because your brain adapts to it immediately and moves on. An unpredictable one keeps the anticipation loop running indefinitely, because you never know if the next scroll is the boring one or the one that hooks you. Social media feeds, notifications, and infinite scroll weren't accidentally designed this way. They borrow directly from the same behavioral science that casinos have used for decades. The habit feels personal. The mechanism is universal, and it's ancient, even if the delivery system is new. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from craving. Tanha in Pali, an endless, restless reaching for more. More information, more validation, more stimulation, more distraction from discomfort. He arrived at this after years of testing extremes. First indulgence, then near starvation as an ascetic, before concluding that the answer wasn't in either direction. It was in seeing the craving clearly enough that it lost its grip. Sitting beneath what's now called the Bodhi tree, he identified this restless reaching as the root of dissatisfaction, long before anyone had a word for dopamine. The mind treats each scroll like it might be the one that finally satisfies it. It never is. That's the nature of craving. It doesn't want to be satisfied, because satisfaction would end the seeking. And a huge part of how the mind operates is built around continuing the search. The Buddhist antidote isn't willpower or self-punishment, and this matters, because willpower is exactly the tool most people try first, and it's exactly the tool variable reward systems are built to outlast. The actual antidote is awareness. The practice of mindfulness means noticing the urge to scroll the instant it arises, before you've acted on it, observing it like a wave, rather than being pulled under by it. This is craving, you notice. It will pass whether I feed it or not. That single moment of noticing interrupts the automatic loop, because the loop depends on you not noticing it's happening. There's also a teaching on impermanence that applies directly here. Everything you're scrolling to see, the outrage, the drama, the comparison, the urgent feeling update, is temporary and will be replaced by the next thing in your feed within seconds. It has no lasting weight of its own. The weight is something your nervous system assigns to it automatically before you've had a chance to question it. Recognizing that nothing in that stream deserves the reaction your body gives it is itself a form of liberation. If this kind of reframe is useful to you, this is a good moment to subscribe, because this channel is built entirely around ideas like this one. So here's what this looks like in practice. Next time you feel the urge to pick up your phone out of boredom or anxiety, pause for 10 seconds and just name the feeling. Restless, anxious, bored. Don't fix it. Just notice it. Often the urge weakens once it's been named instead of obeyed, because naming it moves the experience from an automatic reflex into something you're consciously observing. Second, set your phone to grayscale during high craving hours, evenings, mornings, right after waking up. Removing color removes a large part of the visual reward signal that keeps pulling your eye back in. Third, put a small ritual between you and the reach for phone moment. A stretch, 3 slow breaths, a glance out a window, anything that inserts half a second of space. The goal isn't zero phone use. It's putting a pause between the urge and the action, because that pause is exactly where your choice lives. One more thing worth trying. Notice which specific moments trigger the reach. Waiting in line, a lull in conversation, the first few minutes after waking up. Most people aren't compulsively scrolling all day. They're reacting to a handful of predictable trigger moments, over and over. Once you can name your own triggers, you can catch the urge earlier, sometimes before your hand has even moved. 4 things to take with you. First, the craving to scroll is not a personal weakness. It's a universal, ancient mental pattern that modern technology has industrialized and optimized. Second, the pull you feel is built on the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Uncertainty, not reward, is what hooks you. Third, awareness, not willpower, is the actual tool. Notice the urge before you obey it, because willpower is exactly what these systems are designed to outlast. Fourth, nothing in an infinite feed deserves the emotional weight your body automatically assigns it. The Buddha never met a smartphone, but he understood the mind that built one. If this gave you a new way to think about your screen time, subscribe. Next week we go further into ancient tools for modern minds. And in the comments, tell me, what's your biggest scrolling trigger? Boredom, anxiety, or something else?